Hey guys, Marvin here. Another CSGO Major is about to start. As you can see, I've got 3 days and 1 hour to make my predictions for the Challenger stage. So, like my previous Pick'ems videos, I'm gonna talk through my predictions for the Pick'ems and you can kind of see my decision making for how I'm making my picks. So we've got to get 5 correct. So 8 teams make it through. We've got to pick 5. We've got to get 5 correct predictions. So we've got the 3-0, the 0-3, and then 7 picks here. So out of all these 9 picks, just got to get 5. So hopefully we're going to make it through, although this stage is probably the hardest stage in my opinion, just because of the format, best of one, Swiss system, likely for upsets, and you're also dealing with teams that you know haven't played each other much, and it's kind of just hard to make predictions. Although hopefully we can do a little better than last time. If you did follow along, we only got the silver coin for Antwerp. A bit disappointed about that, but hopefully we can do a little better this video. So starting off, I'm gonna pick my 2 teams which I think are almost certainties to make it through. And the first one that I think is a certainty is going to be Vitality. Vitality coming off a win at ESL Pro League. Um, so in pretty good recent form, although some disappointing showings at the Blasts, but winning ESL Pro League is pretty good. Um, and they've just added Spinks in the off season, so in the player break. So I think of all these teams, I think Vitality have definitely got to be the strongest in here in terms of form, and I don't think I'm going to say too much more. I think it's a pretty obvious pick to go through, and the next one is also an obvious pick. It's Cloud9. Not coming off as good of form as Vitality. They didn't make playoffs at Pro League. They didn't make playoffs. What else did they play? Pro League, Cologne. Didn't make playoffs, but they're still a pretty good team. Um, and if I'm taking these guys against the rest of the field, I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I think pretty much most of you will be taking Cloud9 as well. So let's move on. My next pick, these picks are going to be a little less confident about making them through. I still feel pretty good about these next couple of picks, but I guess we could be in a chance of not getting all of these. But next up, I'm going to choose Mouse. Mouse recently promoted Exertion to their main roster, and I actually think it's worked pretty well. They haven't exactly had their results that they've been after, but just in terms of the server, in the server it looks pretty good. Has allowed Frozen to shine a bit more, have some more star lurking roles, and he's really looked quite good. And I've quite liked what I've seen from Exertion. He seems to be um, quite a composed player, uh, even though he's quite young, 18 years old. But they do rely on him for some big anchor spots on the CT side. So I know that he plays B anchor on Inferno, and then he plays Cave on Ancient. And that's another thing to say about Mouse. So they've got a pretty good map pool, playing Vertigo, Ancient, Mirage, Inferno. And what's good about playing both Vertigo and Ancient is that most teams don't play. They'll play either one of those 2 new maps, the Ancient or Vertigo, but they generally don't play both. So if you play both, you're generally going to get to be able to play one of them, and I'm feeling pretty good about their chances to make it to the Legends stage. So my next reasonably confident team to take through is going to be Outsiders. Outsiders won recently at the ESL Challenger Rotterdam, beating Maus in the semi-final, and I do like Outsiders. Even though they've lost Yekindar, they've they've got a good team and they're quite difficult to play. They're hard matchup for most teams. James gets a lot of I don't know, gets a lot of criticism online about his play style, but I think it's quite effective, and the T sides that he calls seem to be pretty good, in my opinion. So I feel pretty confident that they will make it through as well. And my final reasonably confident team to make it through is going to be Furia. Uh, Playing in home major for Furia in Brazil. Uh, Best Brazilian team, and I'm kind of banking on the fact that they're going to play up a bit because they're playing at home. Home crowd, something to play for. They don't want to go out in the first stage at their home major, and they've also got the players to make it through. I think they've got a pretty good squad, so I'll be taking Furia as well. So the next two picks are kind of 50-50s for me. I'm not really too sure, but for these two spots, I'm considering OG, recently picking up Degster. Nexa is IGL, and I think they're going to be pretty good squad. Um, big, big. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not too confident. They've got some good players in Searson, Tabson, quality IGL, but recent form doesn't give you too much confidence in them. Then we've got teams like Gamer Legion, Fnatic, maybe. Yeah, we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, but I think I'm feeling good about OG. I'm going to take those guys. And that leaves me EG. I mean, in theory, they've got the players to do it, although they haven't really shown much. Then, like I say, Big, Gamer Legion, Fnatic. Fnatic could be an interesting one. Mezzy, Nikados, some recent pickups. And they've had some good results. Fnatic. Um, but something's telling me to take Big here. I just think that of all these teams, I think Big are probably the most tested, the most proven in terms of players that are remaining. So I think I'm taking Big, and so I'll use one of the other teams. So I guess that means I can put either EG or Fnatic or Gamer Legion as my 3-0. I'm not really predicting them as my 3-0. It's just kind of a if I get lucky type of thing that I'll put them in. It doesn't really matter what I put for the 3-0 because what I'm really banking on is I'll just hope to get five correct here. I feel good about getting 5 out of these 6, and then maybe Big will make it through, and that'll be a bonus. Last but not least, I'm gonna pick a 0-3 team, and this is pretty. This is also going to be difficult because, like I say, best of ones. Any team can win a best of one. It's hard, yeah, really hard to pick a team that's going to lose every single game. For the candidates for what I'm thinking is Greyhound, the Australian team, IHC, Mongolian team. I mean, yeah, Bad News Eagles. I think we just take IHC, Mongolian team, and yeah, those will be my picks. Um, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments about what you think about picks, or share your own picks if you've made your predictions. And yeah, thanks for watching.